Hey mama, are you a multi-passionate mom who is juggling all the things, nursing a baby, battling laundry, trying to keep it together and keep a spicy marriage, and feeling like you're feeling all of it? What's up? I'm Ashley Carroll. I'm here to hold your hand through this process because I believe when you're ready to take control of your life, beat the limiting excuses, step into your own power, you can not only survive, but you can thrive. But you're gonna have to show up for yourself. It's time for me to tough love your way through prioritization, taking self-care seriously, getting rid of excuses, reconnecting with your family, kids, and spouse, and quite honestly, learning to love the chaos because the glory is in the journey. It's in the mess. In this podcast, you will find balance for busy mamas, navigating mom guilt, time management strategies, and everything in between with no fluff and lots of fun. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Happy Wednesday. If you're listening to this on the day that this episode goes live, it is me. I'm Ashley, your host. If you're new around here, welcome. I'm so excited that you're listening to the Social Girls podcast. I have it in for you today. If you want snuggly, warm feelings, this is not your episode, my friend. With all that is going on currently, if you're listening, it is July 21st, 2020. And things are a little bit nutso in the world and a little chaotic. And I feel like our emotions are all out of sorts. So I'm here to tough love you as I always do through this season that we're all in right now. And we're in it together, right? It's not like it's all of us. We're all in this to some sort of degree. And it's stressful. It's chaotic. It's stressful. It's all the things. It's all the emotions all at one time. Plus your kids have been home for like what feels like years now. Okay. So you were looking forward to that date back to school that has now been pushed back. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about fear-based thinking. Okay, that sounds like a bunch of hooey blah, 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 right? Like you're just like, whatever. I don't even know what you're talking about. But if this sounds like you need to keep listening. I don't know what I'm going to do. All the things always happen to me. Why me? I just can't get over this hump. It's always something. If it's not one thing, it's another. And now me and my husband are fighting. We're fighting great. This means that my marriage is now a disaster on top of everything else. I can't believe that now I'm probably going to get a divorce. Like he's probably hates me right now. He's probably looking on Instagram at other girls that are prettier than me. I mean, how can I compete with that? Oh my gosh, he's talking to other girls. I can't even believe that. What am I going to do? How am I going to raise kids by myself? How am I going to make money? Oh my gosh. And now that the kids are home, how would I make money and homeschool the kids? I don't know how I'm going to do this. And then what if I die in a car accident? What if I die? Oh my gosh. Then who's going to take care of the kids? Now they have to go back and forth to these homes. And now there's one less parent. I don't know how I'm going to do this. The kids are definitely going to need therapy after this. I don't know how I'm going to afford therapy. How am I going to afford therapy? Great. Now they're going to be adults who can't function because I didn't pay for therapy. They're going to have all these problems. They're going to turn into psychopaths. And then now it's going to be on my fault because I'm going to watch them on the episode of Snapped or today's version of the show Cops. It's going to be my kids on TV. I'm a failure. How am I going to do this? You guys, that was a dramatization, but don't even lie right now when you haven't spiraled in your thoughts about things that haven't even happened yet. You're like already thinking about your day ahead and you're like, great, I'm already late. I'm already late for work. That means that my meeting's going to get pushed back. That means that this is going to happen. I'm going to be late. I'm going to miss the dinner. I'm going to miss the appointment. And then that means that I'm going to be in a bad mood. I'm going to pick up the kids late again and blah, 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 right? It's always the same thing in different scenarios. And I like hand is up right now. Guilty as charged. This is me to a T up until probably a year ago. I would spiral because I had PTSD and certain traumatic events that if things even resembled something similar, and you don't even have PTSD to have this, like you can just be anxious about, worried about, rightfully so, stressed about and concerned about things ahead, but we get ahead of ourselves and then we start thinking about the scenario, playing it out in our head over and over. It's like this whole school and homeschool situation where we're trying to figure out what we're doing, but because we're so in this fear-based thinking of, well, like if I send my kids to school, it's going to be torture. They're going to be distanced. They're not going to be able to talk. They're going to wear masks. They're going to suffocate. They can't think. It's going to be silence in the hallways. It's going to be so depressing. It's going to be, how could I do that to my kids? I'm an awful mother. They're going to have to go to therapy. Oh, and if I homeschool, they're also going to have to go to therapy because I can't handle them, because I'm going to yell and I'm going to scream and I hate math. I cannot teach math. And who's going to deal with the computer? I can't. Who's going to load it? I don't know how. This is how we go through these vicious cycles of thinking, and we don't realize that what it really is fear-based. We're letting our fear take control. So my question to you, and I'm going to hit you straight in the gut right now, is if we wholeheartedly believe and trust in God, science, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in that at your core is your foundation, then why are we questioning that now? If we truly believe that, for me, it's God. If I truly believe that God, like he says in the Bible to me, has a handle on all the things, that he will be there no matter what to guide me through anything, and that through him I can do all things, then why is it now I am trying to carry this burden? Why are we now trying to carry this burden and play out these scenarios in our heads that haven't even happened yet? I mean, granted, it can go a little worse than we thought it could, right? Like, I'm not trying to sugarcoat it and say, oh, if you think it'll be great, it'll be great. No, like, bad crap happens. But it does make a huge difference how we respond to something, because that's the only thing we have control over. And as our type A, also guilty right here, I love to have control. I love to be at the wheel. I love to know where things are going to go. I like to plan out ahead of time, which is why we get in those cycles of trying to plan things before they've ever happened, or play it out, because we want to be prepared, right? We want to pull the rug out from the other person before somebody can pull it out from under us. And that's not possible. This is like real life. We don't have control over that. We only have control over how we respond. So if you're going round and round with your decisions and what you should do, it's hard. There's no way around it, especially if you're talking about in this season of life and these particular decisions that we have to make as mothers for our kiddos, because they are our babies, right? Like, we want nothing but the best for them. Then it's because you're choosing fear over faith, or whatever it is that you believe in, you're choosing fear over that. Both fear and faith demand that you believe in something that you cannot see. So I'm going to ask you today, what are you choosing? So let your decisions be rooted in faith. If you wholeheartedly believe in science, and I'm speaking to the season right now, so I'm sorry if you guys are listening later and this isn't relevant, but if you totally believe in science, and science tells you to stay home or to do X, Y, Z, and to wear a mask, or, all the things, and you're doing all the things that science has told you to do, that you wholeheartedly believe in, then mama, you've got this. You're doing everything you possibly can. And in regular seasons of life, we cannot protect our kids from every single thing. We can do our best, but even in these scenarios or situations or seasons of life where there's a lot of unknowns, our kiddos are going to have those seasons where we're not around. It's just going to be a different scenario. And so right now, all we can do is example for them what it looks like to respond, to be prepared. So for me, it's showing the kids that I'm going to do the best that I can with what I can do, but God's got this. We've got this. Together, we will get through this one day at a time, and we'll take each day step by step, right? Day by day. But at the end of the day, if we believe what we really believe, we're going to be okay. And before I get a bunch of messages in my inbox, this isn't telling anybody what's right or wrong. I feel like every mom deserves the right to choose. It's a freaking stressful situation right now, you guys. I am so proud of you for making any decision. If you decide to homeschool, I'm so proud of you. And I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. If you decide to send your kids to school, I know that was a hard decision, and I'm so freaking proud of you. If you decide to do online learning, I am freaking proud of you for knowing what is best for your child, doing what your mama gut tells you to do, whether it's home school, virtual school, in-person school, and doing that to the best of your ability. Your kids were made yours for a reason because you were the right person to be their mama, and you need to listen to your mom gut and feel good about those decisions. And I am so proud of you for making a decision, because if we haven't made a decision, if we aren't sure, it's because we're letting fear control us. And I hate to say that. Like, I feel like I sound so mean right now. I was in this cycle, you guys. I was in this cycle like weeks ago. I was going to my husband back and forth. I don't know what we're going to do. What are we going to do? What if this? What if that? What if this? What if that? Have you guys done the what if game? It is torture because it's not real. It's what if. You can make up 1,000 what ifs for any scenario, and you're going to drive yourself insane because it hasn't even happened yet. And if you don't have anything to back it up with, right, you're just going to drive yourself insane. There's what if scenarios for every different situation. You can't plan it out. It's not possible. So you have to do the best of your ability. Trust your gut. And here's your wake-up call. It's your reminder that fear-based thinking will consume you, right? I was in this place like literally weeks ago. My husband, if he's listening, he's like, oh my gosh, I wish she would have thought of this before she like talked my ear off night after night when I was exhausted about the same thing over and over again. And you get nowhere. You make no decisions. And that is the total sign of fear-based thinking, is that you're spinning your wheels and it's like you're stuck in the mud in the same place as before. We have no ability to make a decision because we're afraid of making the wrong one, that we make no decisions at all, right? I mean, we can relate to this all the time. I'm afraid to pick out a bedspread, so we don't get one for like months because I can't freaking decide, because I'm afraid I'm going to get the wrong one. I'm going to hate it, right? It's like all the time in our lives, but it can really consume us when it's something really important to us, such as decision making for our kids or things that we just really, really want to get right. Okay. And that's rightfully so. Like, I want to commend you, like applaud you for being the mom who is all in, all the information, trying to do the best. And let me just tell you right now, let me just side note here. You will have a successful child, not because of what route of schooling you chose, but because you are making the effort. You're an A+ mom. Like, even if you're not nailing it, the fact that you care, that you're trying, is what makes a difference. It's what makes a great child an amazing adult. It makes them successful. It makes them great parents because they're seeing you every day in and out, doing your best and not letting fear paralyze you. And friends, this is not the time to neglect our marriages, because with all the stress going on right now, and this is a little side note, but I was thinking about this as I was getting my notes ready to do this episode. The last thing we need is to be in miscommunication with our spouses, because we have kids at home. We're going to be navigating new spaces. And we don't need to be out of alignment with each other. We don't need to add one more thing, one more stressor, one more just like you could cut a knife with the stress and the strain in the room between you and your hubby or your spouse, because your kids are going to sense that. And we're navigating new waters, and that's the last thing you need. Double up on the date nights leading up to this new norm that we're going to be going through with what school looks like. Double down on communication, you time, whatever you guys need to do to get on the same page to get your system running like a well-oiled machine. Like, it's going to take time for you guys to get into a new groove, a new system with, jobs and juggling dinner and online learning and just what all the things that you have in store, for you and your kids this school season. It's going to, take some tweaks here and there the first few weeks. But if you guys are in communication and you can say, hey, like, I'm doing this, and being on the same page, it'll make your ride a lot smoother. If you haven't asked me for the couples goal setting workbook, you guys do not sleep on this, especially right now. You're going to wish you had done it if you don't. And if you do, you're going to be grateful that you did, because it's not just about making like New Year's resolutions. That's not what this is for at all. It's just to get you back on the same page, your goals together, like you guys vibing together, communicating together, connecting, which is a huge, like 90% of it's just to connect and get yourselves back to this just power couple thriving machine, so that way you guys can take on whatever the world throws at you and be like, you know what? We got this. We can dodge it together. And as long as we do this together, we got this. And my husband and I do it every year. We do it like several times. Actually, we do it twice a year. And it's really good to just touch base and see like, okay, where do I need to step in here? Where do I need to lean in more here? Where can we adjust this? And how can we plan, like when I need your help? Like how can I come to you and tell you I need help in a way that won't be offensive or combative? And how can we support each other? And like, it's these things that we don't think of that are so simple, but because we're so busy, we don't sit down to ask each other these questions. That's the point of this, is to sit down and say, like, let's have this conversation. Let's be serious. Let's focus on this, because every other day it's like go, 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 and kids, right? I just wanted to quickly remind you guys of that, because it is a free tool for you guys to use, and why not utilize it, especially with these coming few weeks to come and added things on your plate. Let's get back to fear-based thinking, and I'm going to give you ways on how to stop fear-based thinking and focus on what we can control. So first off, this is a huge one for me that really helped me out, was learning about and focusing on how I can respond instead of trying to control a situation, because I can't. I can never control what is going to happen, but I can 100% control how I respond. And our kids are picking up on our fear. We are setting the tone for how they should feel in any atmosphere we choose or that happens that we're thrown our way. And so we're showing them how to show up in life when trauma happens, when stress happens, when things that are awful and horrible and hard and bad and painful and hurtful and stressful happens. So let's not only show up for ourselves and respond in a way that is honorable, that is healthy, that doesn't mean like don't cry. That doesn't mean like pretend like everything's okay. That means like don't run around like your house is on fire and freak out and verbal vomit all of your stresses in front of your kids, because they're going to do the same thing that you do when they become parents as well. It's showing them, hey, let's step back. Let's assess the situation. Let's take a deep breath. Let's cry about it. And then let's let it go. Let's not make it a big deal, right? Or let's problem solve. Let's go through these next steps that I'm about to share with you and figure out the best way to take action before we freak out. Okay. Step number 2. What is the absolute worst case scenario? This was also something that I also learned that is like amazing for me and for those of you who also spiral and try to predict all the what ifs and scenario plan in your head, all the outcomes. If you freak out, right? Like you are absolutely worried. So for me, in this life, whatever, one of the choices you have to make is, what do I do with my kids in this season? What about homeschooling, or what about in-person schooling? So let's use in-person schooling, for example. So what if I send my kid to school and they have to practice social distancing, but the whole reason I really want to send my kids to school is to have that social experience? Well, if I know any of the kids that I come across, they can be 6 feet, 20 feet apart, and they can't not talk to each other, right? Mask or not, they're going to find a way to communicate, and they're going to find a way to play and have fun and laugh and talk with each other. So maybe I don't really need to worry about that, but what if they aren't able to, for whatever reason, communicate with all their friends at school? Well, then after school, I can make a point to have play dates and connect with our friends in a friendly social distancing kind of way. Or maybe we can have more movie nights and fun game nights when they come home, or play dates or walks around the park. Okay, so what if I don't have time to do that? Then we can have Zoom calls at home where they can socialize as best as possible, and you guys, playing out the worst case scenario is never going to always be perfect. Like, you're never going to love the outcome when you take the steps, but it's planning out, okay, what is the worst thing that can happen if? Okay, I pull them out of school. Okay, then what do we do? Then what do I do? Then what do I do? If this, then what do I do? It's planning for those moments, and ultimately, you always come to a solution when you plan it out that way. It may not be one that's ideal, but it's better than the one that you were letting spiral out of control when you were letting fear control you. For example, we did this a long time ago when my husband was deciding to choose to leave the car business. He was working 80-hour work weeks. He wasn't seeing our kids. He was leaving before they woke up, coming home after they went to bed. It was insane. We had 2 kiddos. I felt like a single parent, but obviously I had know nothing of what that's like. I mean, anyways, no weight to comparison of that, but I was the only parent home all the time when the kids were awake. So it felt awful, but, we made the decision for him to leave the car business, and he was the sole income earner of our household, and I was a stay-at-home mom. So we worst case scenario this, but we knew we had to make this change. We knew it. We had to come to a decision. We had to do this for our family. So we worst case scenarioed it. And it went like this. Okay, hands down, he is leaving his job. We're going to find something else. So what is the worst case scenario if it doesn't work out? Well, we can dip into our savings for him to find and keep looking for the thing that is the right fit for him until, we make some income. Okay. If the savings run out, then we can sell our house. We can move into an apartment, because this is more important. Us being together as a family is more important than this house. Okay. Then what happens if we need more money? Then we sell one of our cars and we only have one car. Okay. We sell all of our stuff. We also have him Uber at night or bring in extra money. I can get a job. We can have, so-and-so babysit. I can work part-time at this place, or I can also start babysitting kids at home while, during the daytime while mom's at work, and I can bring in some money that way. And, so this is what and when you worst case scenario it, you typically find that you guys can do it. If you really want it, you can make it happen. You can make it work, and you're going to have to sacrifice. Yes. Like, I don't want to babysit kids. Like, I want, I can hardly take care of my own kids. No. But it is crazy over here, yo. But you can figure out how to make it happen if you guys just take time and you really, really ask yourself, do I really want this? Am I willing to make this happen? Am I willing to make this work? Because not all of our decisions in life are going to be cake, you guys. And I'm sorry that this season sucks and nothing is going to work out the way it should. And it's going to be hard on all of us, especially single mamas. I don't even know how you guys are going to navigate this season. So know that I'm friggin' praying for you guys, and I want to support you. So if you're not in the, So She Grows Mom Tribe Facebook group, get in there. Cry out for help. Let us know how we can help you plan this time. But worst case scenario, guys, it always puts your fears at ease, because you can see it laid out, even if you put pen to paper with this, what your plan is, and knowing that you guys can do what it takes to get through this season. Okay, the next thing is to call in your tribe. You guys, this is not a time to feel shame about needing help. Like I said, hop in that Facebook group and tell us what you need. Let us pray for you. Let us give you advice. Some of us have been through it. Some of us are navigating homeschooling, and we know how to do that. We've been doing it for years. Let us support each other. Let us help each other through this situation, reading things, asking for things. What conversations have you had that were helpful? How can, you share that with another mom and her conversations be helpful? We should all be uniting and supporting one another in this time, because motherhood is hard. It's hard on a normal day, when I'm just dealing with spit up, much less the coronavirus, guys. So let's support each other. Talk back to your fear. This is the last, no, I lied. This is the second to last step. Talk back to your fear. Be a fool. Who cares if it's going to keep you sane and it's going to help you handle stress, and you're not going to have a Britney Spears, 2007 shave your head meltdown, anxiety attack. Talk back to your fear. Be like, listen, fear, I know what you're trying to do and it won't work. I'm a strong and capable mama. I run this ship. You can come in. I can feel you. I acknowledge you there. I know I'm stressed. I know I'm worried, but you know what? I got this. I'm going to figure it out. You just hang tight right there. I'm not going to let you control me. I control me. Talk back to it. Do you know how empowering that is? How many times have you prepped for a phone call to call your boyfriend? You're like, hi, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, how are you? How many times have you done that? Why not now? Judgy McJudgerson can be in her car looking at you all crazy because you're talking to yourself in the car while you're prepping to go conquer the school board or conquer the PTA or whatever it is that you're doing for that day. And meanwhile, she's over there living her fear-based life, freaking out while you're over there just pep talking yourself, like, I got this, jamming your, music on, like put your shades on, like just rocking out, man. Like, you're killing it. Who cares? You're thriving. She's over there barely surviving. So who cares what you look like as long as you're killing it, right? You're making these decisions. You're living your best life. Your kids are seeing you do this, man. Like, could you imagine how much fire and like life that would give you to see your kids 20 years from now just pumping themselves up like, I got this. I got this, Fear. I'm going for this job. Like, wouldn't you be so proud? So show them that you can do the same thing. You got this. This is non-judgmental zone. Your car is a judgmental zone free place, man. Your bathroom is. Your mirror is. Your backyard is. Whatever it is you need to go to, who cares? Do it. It's helpful. I talk to myself all the freaking time. So let's be weirdos together. We're still friends, right? So do what you got to do. And it's so therapeutic. It's so good. And you really do feel better afterwards. I promise you. The last thing is take a moment to calm the freak down, breathe, and let yourself really digest the information, the situation, the feelings before you respond. So before you let your emotions respond, let your body fully grasp what is going on. If you're an emotion-based decision maker, I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. We have to stop. We have to sit down. For some of us, that means like going on a run. We need to move our body. It helps us to digest things that are stressful and heavy. Some of us, we just need to sit down. So that means telling your husband, you know what, this is a lot of information. Can I just take a moment, please? Like, can you let me just take a moment in the closet, take a moment in the bathroom, take a moment in the shower? I just need to process and digest this, and then we can talk about it when I feel less threatened, when I feel less stressed about it, when I feel like I'm in less of a bad space and I can really problem solve with you on a better foot. I think we need to be honest with ourselves and give ourselves really what we need in this time. However that looks like meditation, calming down, laying down in a dark room, taking a shower, taking a walk, thinking our thoughts out, but breathing. Don't being quick, especially right now, because everybody's posting and verbal vomiting all over social media. We see something and we immediately shoot to respond, or we immediately shoot to an emotion, and we just have to step back. We have to step back and understand that this is tough. We need to digest it. We need to think about it, chew on it, and then take steps forward. Nothing good ever happens when we make decisions out of fear or immediate emotional backed decisions. I mean, it always blows up 100%. I can tell you that every time because that was me also. Okay, now you know how to handle your fear like a boss. Let's recap, because I also went on several tangents and I want you to walk away with the points that you're meant to walk away with. 1, how do you respond? You only have control over how you respond, not the situation. Fear is destructive and contagious, so remember that. 2, what is the absolute worst case scenario? Play this out, write it down. Plan with your spouse, your husband, your partner, your friend, whoever it is that your support system is, and plan out your worst case scenarios. And it will make you feel like you have a backup plan. It will make you feel supported in whatever decision you decide. 3, call in your tribe. If you don't have a tribe, join the Facebook group. I will be your tribe. Mom, I got you. Tell me your problems. I got you. Get on the phone. Talk to your friends. We're all going through nutso craziness right now. We've got you. Lean on people. Ask for help. We know what it's like. And if they don't show up for you, move on to the next person. There's somebody that wants to show up for you. Because if you're like me, you're like, Mom, tell me what you need. I want to help you. There are women out there who are awesome. They want to help you because we're all in this together. Okay, 4, talk back to your fear. This is not a time to be shy or to pretend like you're normal at any sense, because we know we're not. We're losing our minds right now. Let's handle it like adults, like boss moms that we are, forces that we are, mama bears that we are, and talk our fear out of our lives and just acknowledge it and be like, I got you. You can't control me. Back up. What's up? I will take you down, and then move on, right? Okay. I don't know what number I'm on. I think I'm on number 5. Take a moment to calm the freak down. This is for me. I'm going to have to listen to this episode like 100 times. I'm going to have to tell myself to calm the freak down before I make a decision or before I respond, because I'm always quick. I'm an 8, you guys. I don't know if you are into Enneagram, but I'm an 8 and I will challenge it. I like to talk back. I like to get in my words. I like to respond quick because I like to be the person, like I mentioned earlier, to pull the rug from out under the other person before it's pulled out under me. And that will mean that I say things assuming I know what's going on, or assuming I knew what they meant, or assuming XYZ. And so I end up making the wrong choice because I jump to conclusions, or I jump to respond with an emotion-based, fear-based decision. 100% blows up in my face every time. I am the queen of picking up the poo from those actions because I do it 100% of the time. And don't do it. Do not be like me. Be like Susan, who is going to listen to this episode and follow my advice and nail it. She's going to kill it and overcome her fear-based decision making. Okay? All right, guys. Here are the tools. You have them in your hands. I want you to feel empowered. Get out of the car. That was weird. Get out of the car. Give your reflection a freaking high five because you're nailing it at life. You've got this. You're going to make fear your biznatch, if you know what I mean. And you're going to make the best decisions possible for your family because you're a mom. You got this. All right? Okay. Be the force that you are. Trust your mom gut. Trust yourself. Trust your decisions. Don't let fear control you. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your day. I hope you feel pumped up. I hope you feel empowered because you should. You're amazing. You're awesome. Do not forget to subscribe and don't miss the next episode. Okay? I got more stuff for you guys all the time. Tell me what you need. I will give it to you. All right, guys. Have an awesome day. And I will catch you guys next time. See ya. Hey guys, what's up? Hope you enjoyed that episode. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. It gives you a notification that I've put out something new for you, and then you don't even have to think about it. It's a reminder in and of itself. Leave a review if you thought this was helpful, but most of all, share this to another mom friend if you think it provides something that she might find useful, helpful. Let's help each other out because as we know, it takes a village, right? Like we can't do this alone. So I'm so grateful for you. Thank you so much for listening. As always, grab the couples goal setting workbook. It is thebomb.com. You can find it at theashcarroll.com. And I hope you guys have an awesome day.